Can Kolkata Knight Riders arrest the slide after 4 losses in a row? In fact, can Kolkata Knight Riders pull Hyderabad Sunrisers? Because remember, the team that they're playing today also lost 3 matches in a row, but after that managed to win that game versus Chennai. So it's Hyderabad versus Kolkata in Hyderabad. You're watching ESPN Cricinfo Matchday. I'm Nikhil Naz, with me Murli Karthik and Sean Tit. The news coming in from Hyderabad is that Sunrisers have won the toss and have decided to bowl first. We'll talk about the teams and the toss, but before that, will you remember that game last time around? I think it was the second game of the IPL and probably the most exciting. We could expect another exciting one with these 2 teams playing.
The way you asked me, my mind is in a twirl
Yeah.
right now.
I was
Seriously,
the same thing. I was like,
just
what
with
game?
the travel.
That was the
that
game
game,
where
which
that was the game where Warner
No, I
Preshow had
remember.
that 100
No,
and then
no,
what,
I'm just
19
kidding.
ball
Yeah.
40 by.
Yeah, look,
Yeah.
For me, when you look at the teams and the way they've played, I just want them to have a bit more consistency in selection and the thought processes. That is what's left me a bit flummoxed, looking at the way they're affecting changes. You want to be in a state in this or at this time of the tournament where you want to give confidence to players rather than still trying to figure out what's gone wrong, because then the new set of guys taking some time is never going to help. I'm glad that Sunrisers Hyderabad came back to their normalcy after making those initial changes when the middle order wasn't firing. You still have to instill and give confidence to the middle order for them to fire rather than changing personnel. So KKR, rather than looking at the personnel, they have to look at the fact that it's just been a one-man army.
Yep.
And you need contributions from other people. Yeah, the last game where Robin Uthappa's, there was no intent from him. So those are the kind of percentages which you're talking about. Those 11 balls to Andre Russell, or even if he had made an attempt. So these are the kind of small things which you're looking at rather than making wholesale changes to the squad. So yeah, hopefully there's a cracker there. The surface doesn't allow that though.
We'll talk about that. He talks about those consistent changes that both teams have been undergoing at the moment, but it's a catch-22, you'd say. Not having a great time. What do you do in this new T20 format where each game counts? What do? You have to make a few.
Yeah, there's going to be times where there might be an obvious change, but then I tend to agree with Karthi. I think sometimes you see some teams with not having enough confidence in their players. I look at the bowlers, especially some of the local guys. Just sometimes it's about giving them confidence, saying no matter what happens these next 3 games, you're bowling at the death. There you go, and away you go. You know what I mean? That sort of thing. But I think Hyderabad have just got it together now. I think they're going to become dangerous. Obviously, they're going to lose 1 or 2 players, possibly. Johnny Bairstow, they're going to lose. But I just think they're looking good now. They're starting to bowl quite well. Boovy's back, bowling pretty well. Kolkata, on the other hand, that's not the case.
Okay, Hyderabad.
I'm just giving you a simple example. CSK. CSK,
Yeah.
it's not as if Watson is on fire, Raidu is on fire, Jadhav is on fire, Raina is on fire.
But the difference is they're winning, right? So
No,
had you
exactly.
been losing,
No, so that's the mindset, isn't it? The mindset to win is different. So you've just because you've lost, you don't have to make wholesale changes.
Okay.
You can make the odd tactical change. You cannot make the odd condition-based change, but not wholesale change. Otherwise, then the guy coming in the next time is going to be not in a great space, to be very honest.
On the other hand, then I think Rajasthan made a good change in their
Yeah.
well, they did, but it was too late.
That was
the
too
other
late,
one.
yeah, it was too late.
This time in the tournament, it's too late. I suppose better late than never, but I felt it was
I
too
wonder
late.
if teams can figure out some sort of a system. You actually wait for the tournament proper to start to really figure out teams. Some do, like Chennai, because they have a consistency with the players that they've kept for the longest time. It's
Even
the teams that
if Chennai had lost a few games, I don't think he would have made those changes. That's how CSK and MS Dhoni
He's
have
more tactical
always
with his,
operated.
Yeah, he's more tactical.
They've always
I
operated.
guess that goes with the auction table. They pick the players that they want and have a lot of faith in. Eventually, most other franchises sometimes end up picking players that they don't have too much confidence, wait for them to perform, and then you sometimes see a lot of changes, as Karthik and Sean Tate are talking about. Okay, now we have the playing 11s for both teams. We'll take a look at if there are any changes. We're taking a look at Kolkata first. 3 changes I can see. Prithvi Raj comes in. He's a youngster. Karyappa, the spinner, is in. Rinku Singh, I can see that you've got Kuldeep Yadav is out. Yep, that's the one.
That's a
big. Would you have gone with that? I know he's not had the best of IPL, Kuldeep Yadav, but would you have taken that call?
You talk about confidence. I don't know what he's going through.
into World Cup.
Yeah, I don't
He's
know.
a World Cupper right now.
Exactly. I don't know what he's going through at the moment mentally. He was obviously pretty shattered last game. So this is one of those ones where you go, okay, get him out, let him have a break, go to the nets, work some stuff out, or if you take him out, does he lose even more confidence?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay, it's a tough one.
It's a tough one.
Okay, we'll take a look at Kuldeep Yadav's figures a little later, but we'll take a look at the team changes for Sunrisers Hyderabad right now. And there are no changes that I can see. Okay, unchanged on this one. The only, question there, Karthik has been there, lower middle order or that middle order of sort. But what do you do? There's not too much option on the bench either.
Exactly. And that's where you, those guys have some brilliant players, brilliant heads over there who are absolutely calm. They're the right kind of motivators. You have Murli, Lakshman and Tom Moody, three of the calmest people.
Yep.
Murli can be a little more, proactive or verbose and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, when it comes to motivating and talking about it, none better than him. So the best thing they would have done is, yes, we gave chance to Ricky Bui and Abhishek. I think these are our players. I'm still surprised that Manish Pandey, somebody like Manish Pandey is also you need to give that pep talk. Sometimes you never know when it's going to click. It could be one day in the nets, it could be one shot out in the middle, things just suddenly come back to you. And I think that's why I'm happy that they've come back to what they started with.
Okay, we've got a poll going right now on our Facebook page, and this is the question that we're asking you. Karyappa for Kuldeep Yadav, is that the right move? Yes or no? Cast your vote, and we'll take a look at what most of our viewers think. Of course, we'll get thoughts from Sean Tate and Murli Karthik on that one too. But we're sticking with the toss. I saw Dinesh Karthik there, not too happy, batting first. And you'd come to expect that because how do you use Andre Russell? They've not really figured out batting first. Do you really send him up there? It's batting second that he's really come into his own because you know what the target is. Batting first, they've really struggled to use Russell and rightly at that.
I think more than Russell, they have to have a look at the other people who are out there because Shubman Gill is also somebody whom they sent up the order. He's done well. I think that needs to be persisted with. I think Andre Russell will take care of himself. The way he's going about it, I think you want to maximize what he does, but it's not just about that one man. That's why I'm a bit surprised. Like Warner and Best, it's about the other people. It's not just about Andre Russell. It's about people like Uttappa. It's about people like Chris Lynn. Because they are the ones who lay the foundation for Andre Russell. If they lay the foundation right, you know he's going to belt everyone out of the attack. But if they're not going to do, then obviously he's under pressure as well.
Okay, the biggest talking point right now, Kuldeep Yadav has been dropped, as Murli Karthik said. Remember, he's a World Cupper. He's dropped now from his IPL team. If you take a look at the worst averages for a spinner in IPL 2019, he's in the second spot, only behind Krishnappa Gautam. And in fact, if you take a look at how he's done across IPL season, this is turning out to be the worst IPL for Kuldeep Yadav. If you were skipper, Sean Tate, what else could you have done?
You look at that and you think about the tournament he's had, he probably needs a rest. You look at that list there, I think only one of those guys are playing currently. But I think
Akshar
is the only one. But he's really had an improved sort of a season after those first two
and he also
games,
bats pretty well. So, but look, I think the World Cup's got to be that's separate. This is an IPL. This is you can't look at the World Cup and say, oh, no, we need to keep him in the team because at the moment he's not performing. But at the same time, you look at him as a young lad and go, after a game like that, do you just get rid of him and drop him, or do you give him one more go, see if he can get it right? But I think the fact that they need to try and make finals, so they need to try and find the best way to do that, and maybe at the moment he's not in that team.
Do you notice a difference in Kuldeep Yadav, the way he's bowling? Every time that he's been successful is the time that he picks up wickets. This time around, we've seen him not really going for the wicket bowling right outside the off stump, trying to avoid getting hit for sixes rather than get wickets. Is that a mindset change that can be worked?
Look, I definitely feel this is something which people might agree, might not agree. I don't know whether Sean agrees. I've watched him up close and personal in all the ODIs. He's somebody who needs a lot more strength in his legs. And you might be thinking, what is this guy talking about? It's got nothing to do with his performance. And that is where the performance comes from because he's tiring. As he's tiring, his ball doesn't have the kind of fizz which a Ashwin has or a Graham Swan, which a Harbhajan has as a Graham Swan has. He's somebody who's reliant on his action, and if he's stronger and fresher, he tends to bowl a lot better. I saw that at the fag end of the series as well. When he was tiring, the body doesn't go through. When the body doesn't go through, you start floating things up, the ball doesn't drop the way it should drop, and then you don't get the purchase the way you want it. So possibly, is this a good thing? Does he get fresh? Does he get fitter? That's something which he needs to look at. Because even if you look at his action, and this is something which many people have spoken about, at the time of delivery, when his hands are about to release the ball, the trail leg is always lagging behind, which means that the body weight isn't going forward. You get away with it when you're fresher, but once the body starts tiring, the ball doesn't have the same kind of impact which you generally have. So that is something which could definitely be the case, because you look at the way he's getting hit, there's nothing on it, because you always see people groping for the drop in the ball, and they're groping for it when he's bowling well. Right now people are just standing and hitting. That is not Kuldeep Yadav.
So are you saying because he's tiring, he's not able to land the ball where he wants?
Not land the ball. It's the ball doesn't have the same kind of fizz and that.
After pitching?
Yeah, the ball doesn't have the same kind of impact because it's just getting released without the body dynamics going through the way it should go through.
So is it why now he's getting a bit defensive in his bowling? Is that why?
Has to be.
Maybe because he's lost.
That's a natural mindset of a bowler. When you're getting hit, what do? You can only defend. And over here, at the end of the day, he is seen as a different bowler. In T20, you can't just nominate and say, I'm going to get him. You have only 24 balls, and it's not like Test match cricket there where you can set people up. Even if you get hit for 6s and 4s, you're happy with it. It doesn't happen that way. And they're also playing on pretty good surfaces. Kolkata has nothing for a spinner. So if things aren't working for you with your bowling, there's nothing off the surface either.
Okay, today they are though playing in Hyderabad. We'll take a look at the man who's replacing Kuldeep Yadav, and this is his IPL record. Cariappa, he's played 10 matches there. It's not a great economy.
Yeah, exactly.
It's nothing that would have really prompted you to draft him in, Sean. But I guess this is desperate times for them.
Yeah, I mean, you look at that record and it's like, well, it's okay. It's not it's not good at all. But I mean, he hasn't played a great deal of games, so it'd be interesting to see how he goes today. Get him in. Maybe he's been bowling well on the nets. We don't know any of that stuff. And the fact is that Kuldeep's bang out of form. So again, it's I don't know the answer to if it's a right move or not, because I don't know what Kuldeep's mindset is at the moment. I can't imagine it's very good. But Karti would know more being a spinner. He would know more.
See, his mindset has been very strong. That's something which you have to laud him for. Him, Chahal, when they get hit, they come back really strong, which is something really nice to see. Even Rahul Chair, the new kid, has been mighty impressive. But what people don't sometimes understand is that you can fight your brain, but sometimes if your body ain't coping or cooperating, then things don't go. There are times when for a fast bowler, your rhythm, you bowl fast when you're in rhythm. People might think, oh, you gain strength, you bowl fast. No, when they're in rhythm, they bowl express. And similarly for a spinner, when everything is in sync, then the ball drops. Everything is going right. Your hand falls the way it should. The trail arm comes the right way. For Kuldeep Yadav, you dissect his action. At the time of release, his trail leg, which is his back leg, is always behind, which means he's thinking he's putting in a lot of effort, but he ain't. If he starts getting it in sync, that there'll be more purchase. That's fine. He gets away with it because he's fresher. But once your body starts tiring, you bowl a lot of overs because everything is in sync. Everything is normal. But when these things happen, your body tires a lot more quicker. So I feel that's where he needs possibly...
Like a golf swing.
Exactly.
Okay.
Something's out of kink.
The only one
people might think this is completely offbeat, but that is exactly
coming from a spinner. Of course, it makes a lot of sense. As you say, a lot of things need to come together for him to be the bowler that he is. I'm just looking at Cariappa. The one positive could be you've seen the two Hyderabad openers. They've done rather well up until now. Spinner up front. Kuldeep is not the one that you give the ball to in the power play. Cariappa could be that guy. He's bowled with the new ball before. I know those two are in great form.
Those two are in great form, and if Cariappa was the person you're talking about, his economy won't be close to 10.
Yeah. No, I'm saying he's bowled with the new ball before. So I'm just saying maybe that's an option because they had Narayan earlier do that job for them. He's not ready to...
IPL is something where you get found out very quickly because it's international quality. All these mystery spinners, and no disrespect to them. You spoke about that young kid who was picked up first game, first over, got smashed for 24. It's a massive dent. After that, you don't get picked.
A great example of that. I'm not saying he's a great bowler or anything, but he's an international quality. He's Moeen Ali. He's a finger spinner. He doesn't turn it much, but he's doing really well. He's an international quality player.
Okay, we'll take a look at now the problems that are there with SRH. We spoke about their opening batting. That, of course, is great, but it's their middle order, which is a bit of a problem. Before that, we'll take a look at the poll result as well. We asked you, is it a great move to bring Cariappa instead of Kuldeep Yadav? And this is what most of our viewers have voted in. 70% say yes, 30% say no. Clearly, this the IPL times we are living in. Fans don't have too much patience with any bowler, even though he may be part of the Indian World Cup squad.
It's a tough one to say yes to or no to, because you look at his record. We haven't seen much of him in recent times. He's got an average record, so it's hard to go, oh yeah, definitely, isn't it?
Yeah, just because Kuldeep is I understand that Kuldeep possibly is not having the best, and that can happen. What if Virat was having a struggle? Somebody like Rohit Sharma hasn't got a 50 in spite of opening the innings. So it doesn't mean that he's a bad player or he should be dropped. And no, I don't think so. Yeah, it's Teddy's spot on. It's a tough one. You don't know what he's going through at the moment. People up close and personal would have an idea. How's he feeling? And that's where sitting so far away, it's tough to judge. But having said that, these are the things which I have seen, and I'm glad that if he can take a bit of a break, take a breather, get strong, get back to bowling slowly. The body needs a bit of freshening up.
Maybe then it is a blessing in disguise for Kuldeep Yadav. Gets that
and
time
World
off.
Cup.
And World Cup as well, looking at the larger picture. If you're an Indian fan, maybe most of those Indian fans were voting and they're happy that Kuldeep has got that break. Okay, just a reminder once again, we've got another poll going on our Facebook page. Who will win the match? That's an easy one. You just have to pick between Hyderabad and Kolkata. We'll have the result at the end of our show. Now turning our attention to the problems that are Hyderabad facing at the moment, and one is their captain, which is Kane Williamson, not in great form, and this is the lowest average for a top order batsman in IPL 2019. Kane Williamson is right on top. Is it an extension, Sean? I'll come to you. An extension of his international form. I mean, he was.
Why is Moeen Ali there?
Oh, you opened the batting a couple of times.
You know, in international cricket as well, I remember the last series that India played New Zealand. Kane Williamson was a shadow of himself, not in great form. That's just extended to the IPL too now.
Yeah, he might be just going through a bit of a rut. He's only played 3 games. By the way, Moeen Ali, did he open the batting or batted 3 or something?
I think he batted 3.
Sorry,
he did open the batting once.
Okay, anyway,
yes.
so we'll move on. Sorry. Williamson, this is a good point because I believe if he gets and starts making runs, they're going to be, you know, a side that could make a final because he's so important. Bairstow's going to leave, who has been making runs. They need someone else to step up. The middle order hasn't been fantastic. You know, this guy's obviously a world-class batsman, and if he starts making the runs, then they're going to be a formidable side going into finals. So it's extremely important that he does.
We'll take a look at how he builds his inning, and this is across IPL, not just this season as well. And if you take a look at that, his strike rate in the first 1 to 10 overs, and then going on from 11 to 20, and then we're seeing how he. So it's initially this season we've taken a look at the first 10 balls is where he's really susceptible. He ends up giving his wicket away. I mean that is the kind of player that Kane Williamson is, Karthik. That if he spends more than 10 balls, he'll get you runs. But the problem is the openers are getting you run, which is an advantage for the team. But by the time you come out, you don't have that luxury of those 10 balls. Could something else be done? Maybe on days where the openers have not had a great successful partnership, that's the day he comes at 3. Other days you send a pinch hitter.
I think he did come in. There was a game when it's not as if those two have been batting. Yeah, initially they weren't dismissed in the power play when Kane Williamson wasn't playing. But from the time Kane has come back into the team, there have been occasions where he has come in early. It's a question of your personal form at the end of the day, and with his injury, he's been out of the game for a bit as well. I don't know if that's affecting. Kane Williamson, yes, he's definitely somebody who can go through gears, has got all the shots. But at the moment, again, a top quality player like him has to figure for himself what needs to be done there.
Of course, you need to give him a longer rope. You'd agree on that with Kane Williamson.
It'd be interesting to see today how he goes. But yeah, if he gets in a bit earlier and he's got time to bat through the innings, that's the sort of player he is. I mean, he's been good in the past. There's no doubt that at some stage soon he's going to make some runs.
Okay, now talking about from Hyderabad's batting, we turn our attention to the batting of Kolkata Knight Riders, and 2 extremes we're going to look at. One of Robin Uthappa, as we briefly mentioned at the start of our program, not really getting a move on, getting the runs for his team. And the other extreme is of Andre Russell, who's getting runs at a strike rate never, I believe, has been seen in the IPL before. And this is Robin Uthappa since IPL 2015. One thing, Karthik, you notice that gradually, with every year, his strike rate seems to be dropping, and that's the worry.
Especially this year. You look at it, 2017 was brilliant. Under Gotham, I think that's where he turned it around, because with the Pune Warriors, his strike rate was around 118, if I'm not mistaken. And then once he went to KKR with the renewed confidence from Gautam Gambhir, that really shot up, because that's what it is. Robin Uthappa is such an aggressive player, such a great hitter of the ball. But this year, yeah, you could be out of form. But the thing is the lack of intent, especially in the last game. That's what surprised me.
What this does is people like Shubman Gill. I know last game he came ahead of Robin Uthappa, but people like Shubman Gill, you got Nitish Rana who's in great form. They'd be itching to bat ahead of Robin Uthappa, and that's not happening with him in the team.
Well, we spoke about this the other day, and I sort of said maybe it could be the time in his career or for this franchise that he goes down and does almost like a job that he did with RCB, where you just say, let yourself go, let your mind be free, and just play like you were saying. He's a good hitter of the ball.
Yeah, I was just going to say that he does have the shots in his book.
Put him down there with Russell.
Exactly. Just when you go, you know that the only thing left is to hit.
They've got enough players now. They've got Shubman Gill who can bat 3. They've got Rana and they've got Dinesh Karthik. They can fill that those middle slots. I think that's a good option.
It is a very crowded middle order for Kolkata Knight Riders. We spoke about Dinesh Karthik, we spoke about Shubman Gill, you've got Nitish Rana as well, Robin Uthappa. How do you fit in? And now we have a new contender who wants to bat a bit higher up the order, and his name is Andre Russell.
I went out to bat with Nitish came to me and said what I think. I said, yo, I bat one way and it's positive. So if the ball is in my court, first ball, I don't need to see what's happening. So, to go out and chasing, 14, 15 or over, it's not the best way you want to start as a batsman, but I'm used to those conditions and situations. But, why I say it's a sweet and sour feeling is because we need to learn from this as a team, that 214, we could get that. And, to lose by 10 runs, it's just 2 hits away. And in the middle period, if we score a bit faster, we would definitely get the runs with even balls to spare. I believe that, but honestly, I think sometimes we have to be flexible as a team. And, when you look at the makeup of our team, I wouldn't mind going to bat at number 4 and, to allow, because I believe in once I'm at the crease, Virat Kohli is going to bowl his best bowlers to get me out. And those best bowlers will have leftovers in the back end. So even if I score 60 off 25 balls and I give the team that pump, they'll stay in, or maybe, the other guys, they will have only 1 over to bowl in the death, or maybe, all bowl out. So I think me going to bat early would definitely be a good thing for KKR, but with our makeup of the team, I just think, that's not a good time at the moment, because for me to bat in the back end and know what I can do in 4 or 5 overs. But it's a good answer.
Okay, before I ask you, should he bat at number 4, I want to ask you about the hints that he was dropping at that time. Clearly, not everything is well in the camp.
It's not anymore. Not since he came out and said that to the media. I think, look, I understand what he's saying. We all understand what he's saying, but go and tell the coach that. Don't get in a deep conversation with the media about your batting lineup.
You reckon he told the coach as well as the media?
Oh, possibly. But you don't need to tell the media every single thing that the team you think the team should be doing. We could all do that. Just sit there and talk about things.
Looking at his strike rate, of course, no doubt that he does get you runs very, very quickly. A strike rate of 202 at the moment. It's the best in IPL since 2018. But Karthik, the same question to you. Is all well in the KKR camp? You keep travelling.
Look, I'm not privy to all those things, but yeah, as Teddy rightly mentioned, there are certain things which are sanctum sanctorum. When it comes to a team, and whatever happens within the team stays within the team. That sort of a concept is always there. It's not written, but it's always unwritten. And as I said, that's why it's sanctum sanctorum. When it comes to his batting position, can he bat? I feel. He's
an impactful batsman, as these numbers are showing, no doubt about that.
Yeah, but he's playing his role down the order, which is to hit sixes. You come in at number 4, then trying to hit sixes every ball might not always work either.
Yeah, for me, what Teddy mentioned was the right thing. If Robin is struggling, get him to bat close to Russell or after Russell, and get guys like Shubman Gill and Nitish Rana who are batting well. The chances, because what did he say? He said if we bat the middle overs better, we would have won, and that's exactly what it is. And these kids are capable of batting better at the moment. And if Robin isn't showing, which he should, because he's one of the senior players, I definitely feel Russell can be flexible. You can ask him to go any time, depending on the number of overs left. But I definitely feel they need to make this shuffle and get. If Robin has to play, then he plays slightly later.
At least he's getting the backing of his owner. Shah Rukh Khan tweeted just yesterday saying that I hope the Kolkata team can win a game for Andre Russell. Now, he usually doesn't weigh in on these things. The first time you've seen him do that. So interesting times in Kolkata at the moment. We'll talk about Bhuvneshwar Kumar quickly. He's already come on to bowl, but a quick word, Sean, I'll come to you on Bhuvneshwar. He's also improved over as the season's gone on. The first 3 games I remember was awful for him. After that, I think he's picked up wickets. Economy is improved.
Yeah, he's back to his best now, which is that's what I mean by Hyderabad just looking good at the right time now. You know, if you get Williamson making some runs, it's like Karti was saying, they haven't changed that team. So that tells you that they're thinking, right, we're in a bit of form here leading into finals. And Boovy's obviously, you know, he's their leading bowler. And if he's going well, then the team should be going well too.
Okay, completely out of time. Fab 4 time. Pick your 4 players that you think will do rather well in the game today. Between
I'm going Sunil Narayan.
Narayan, it's interesting.
Andre Russell.
Can we see the teams on the screen?
And the top 2 of
Besto and
Warner.
Okay. You've
Wow.
taken the best, the cream.
No, he can take the same. He did that last time.
We can take the same.
Yes.
I've been terrible with this lately, by the way. But look, I'm going to go Rashid Khan.
Too many match winners in
I'm going
Yeah,
back.
need to be Fab 6 actually.
I'm going to put my money where my mouth is and go Kane Williamson.
Right.
And let's have a look at these guys. I'm
You're
going
going
to
for
go
Karyappa and
as
Ringu
Linny
Singh.
hitting. Yeah, Linny's hitting them pretty well. I'm going to go Chris Lynn.
Len, okay.
And
You could take Russell too.
I'm going to have to take Russell.
Yep. Okay, that actually makes it a very close contest. I'm just looking at the 4 players that both our experts have picked. It should be a close one. Let's see how the match pans out. But meanwhile, we asked you, the viewers, to vote in. Who do you think will win the game today between Hyderabad and Kolkata? And the results are out. 60% say Kolkata, despite the fact that they've lost 4 in a row and also are playing away from home at the moment. That is interesting. Clearly, we have more Kolkata fans watching right now than Hyderabad. Thanks so much for your time.
Cheers.
Sean Tate, Karthik, that's all that we have for you at the moment. We'll see you during the mid-innings now.